right? Because if you have arterial flow going into something, you have to have venous flow coming back. On the lab exam, when you're going to have a tracing, and I'll get to that in a second, and on the second lab exam, if I tag a blood vessel, you must say right subclavian vein, left brachiocephalic vein. Okay? You have to say if it's right or left. I mean, but the kitty cat's like right there, right? You should be able to tell right or left. You have to also say if it's an artery or vein to get full credit for it. And spelling still counts. But most of these sound themselves out anyway. The flow, let me go through it so you know what to look for as you're dissecting it. The arterial flow, we started so hard, you already know it's ascending aorta, aortic arch, descending aorta, right? Cats can have a couple of differences as you go through their anatomy compared to us, but really there's only a few differences. One of them is that funky Y-shaped uterus thing. If we come arterial system, we go up ascending aorta. On their aortic arch, they have two branches. How many did we have?
Three.
We had three. Okay. So they're going to have a brachiocephalic artery and a left subclavian artery. We had brachiocephalic arteries, left common carotid arteries, left subclavian arteries. Okay, so our branching pattern is a little bit different. Their brachiocephalic is going to come up and branch. The first branch you're going to get comes up, and you're going to get a little Y here. And those are going to be the left and right common carotids. Those are the ones that go up the neck. The left, each common carotid is going to branch eventually into an internal and an external. Okay, so brachiocephalic is going to come up. First branch that's going to go north to the head are going to be the common carotids. The next branch that's going to start to go laterally across the body is going to be the right subclavian artery. Somewhere around the right subclavian, you may or may not see a skinny little artery coming off. It went into the thoracic wall, into the rib cage. If you cut the rib cage out, depending on how careful you were, you either may see it dangling off the artery here, or it's dangling off the thoracic cage. It depends on how you cut it. If you continue to follow right subclavian, remember right subclavian means under clavicle, so that tells you it's going to be right here. As you follow right subclavian over, when you start to see the kitty cat's armpit, it becomes right axillary artery. Continue to follow right axillary into where you start, it lands on the femora. Now it's called right brachial artery. And remember, these words are recycled from AMP1 anyway. So that's going to be that pattern. If we look on the other side of the aortic arch, the second branch is left subclavian artery. Same concept, you can have a left thoracic coming off of it. Same concept, follow it, you get a left axillary artery, which turns into a left brachial artery. And so at least right and left, the names get recycled too. Alright. Now, if you hit aortic arch, go to descending aorta, follow it, it's going to go past diaphragm. So at this point, to see these vessels above the diaphragm, be very gentle, very careful. Use a blunt probe and just slowly tease the membranes away. If you get in there with a scissor or a scalp, you're going to cut them. Alright, so blunt probe at that point. Fingertips are good too. Alright? So if you follow that descending aorta down below the diaphragm, when you get down here, you're going to have to move your guts around, right? Shove them to the right, shove them to the left. One group even cut them out. You can do that. Just be careful. Okay? And then superimpose over some of this is membrane, that peritoneum. And you got to kind of pull that up. You already can see under it, but you want to pull it up so you can see the tail. And then find the aorta that goes down the back of the body wall there. The very, very, very first branch under the diaphragm is called the celiac, technically trunk. You said celiac artery, all right, fine. Celiac trunk. Celiac is going to branch into three arteries, and if you're really good dissecting it, you'll see celiac trunk, and then you'll see three little arteries coming off of it. One artery goes to the stomach, it's called the gastric artery. Gastric means stomach. The middle one goes to the spleen, so it's the splenic artery.
Gastric, splenic.
And then the third one, the hepatic artery, is going to go straight to the liver. The next big landmark, the next big branch off the is going to be the superior mesenteric artery. Okay? When I made it to all of you, when I pulled and I showed you the mesenteries, and you can see arteries going through the mesenteries, those are all branches off that thing. Okay, so that's taking blood toward small intestine for superior mesenteric. The next big branch is going to be the left and right renal. They're going to go out. They're going to go to kidneys. That's what renal means. They're going to go to the kidneys. Below the renals, you're going to see iliolumbars. The iliolumbars are very horizontal. If my body's the aorta, the iliolumbars are going to be my arms left and right. You know, the renals might do this jazz, but the iliolumbars tend to be very straight. All right, somewhere around the iliolumbars, you'll find these right and left testicular or ovarian artery, depending on if it's girl or boy. Sometimes they're really nice and they come out there. Sometimes they're like, they're funky. All right, but you can follow them. They'll go straight to the ovaries. All right, aorta comes down. Now here's the next difference between humans and cats. In the arterial system, when you hit where the cat's legs are coming out, you hit that zone, you're going to find two-letter Y's, double Y's, right there, on the aorta. Okay? So the aorta comes down, makes a big branch, and then you see a little more aorta and another big branch. Humans don't do that at all. And in fact, even in the cat, their venous system doesn't do it. It's just their arterial system that does it. And when you tease the membranes away here, you'll spot it. You'll see it. You'll go, oh yeah, it's two Y's. The first Y, those are the right external iliac. Okay. The second right, they're the internal iliac. There's no common iliac on the arterial system. It goes straight external iliac, internal iliac.
Those are the lower ones.
Yeah, the iliacs are going to go into the leg. So that's arterial. Those are the arteries you need to know, be able to recognize on cats. Venous. Similar kind of concept. We're going to take one away and add a couple of new ones. All right, you know, venous system is inferior and superior vena cava. Once you get that pericardium off your heart, that bag away from your heart, go to the top of the heart and just carefully start to look for the veins coming out of it. And you'll see inferior and superior vena cava, no problem. If you take your heart and roll it and look at the underside on the right side a little bit, you'll see that right where superior vena cava enters right atrium, there is another vein coming in there. It's thick, but you got to roll the heart to get at it, and that's called the azygos. It's in your lab manual. After that, it's going to sound kind of familiar. Comes up, superior vena cava branches into right and left brachiocephalic. Right and left brachiocephalic branch into common jugular and subclavian. Subclavian becomes?
Axillary, brachial.
Brachial. Like the arterial system, common jugulars come up and common jugulars branch into internal
and external.
Okay, left and right, internal, external. All right, if we go below the diaphragm, you find your inferior vena cava below the diaphragm. First big branch under diaphragm is going to be hepatic vein. Then you're going to see left and right renal vein. Then you'll see left and right testicular or ovarian. A lot of times the left comes off the left renal. I don't know. Makes them special. Same concept, keep going. You will see left and right iliolumbars. And you'll see the iliolumbar arteries right there with them. Then it comes down in branches, different branching pattern arterial system. And we humans actually have this for our arterial and our venous. Okay. Vena cava comes down, branches into left and right, common iliac vein. So this is a common. Anytime you see the word common, it's going to branch. Okay. It's probably going to branch into an internal and an external. So left and right common iliac vein branches into left and right external iliac vein and internal iliac vein. Internal iliac tends to go deep. It's going to disappear on you. External iliac is going to come around, and the point at which you're in kitty cat's femur, it's going to become left femoral vein. And right around where you're on kitty cat's leg, knee-ish, zone-ish, hip-ish, in his leg, you're going to see a branch come off left femoral and run superficial. That's great saphenous vein. You can spot it on your cats right now because they use the great saffron as part of the embalming process. So one of your cats probably has the skin removed on one of its legs, and you can see a very superficial vein sitting there. That's probably the great saffron. Okay. So you need to be able to spot them all on your cat, any cat. Okay. You need to be able to write left or right and artery or vein. If you want to be lazy and do L-A-R-T, R-A-R-T, I'll take that. Okay. But that's about as much abbreviation as and then you got to name them. And then we'll trace, but we won't trace today. We'll trace Monday. I'll give you a trace.